Baum is what I call a flicker film. I don't know if it's actually a real word. When you normally watch film, it's always a very consistent lighting situation, and the general idea in the industry when you watch film is that everything is quite consistent. You usually try to eliminate any kind of flicker. When I shot it, I did it almost like I'm writing a letter to somebody. I kept the shutter of the film camera open. I used it like a typewriter as a film camera and basically wrote a letter. That's embedded in the film, and I forgot what I wrote at the time, but it's always there. At the same time, it creates like a visual, like a thunderstorm. So it's, in a way, it's quite restless, the piece. The person in the image is somebody I know from the downtown east side. He's not a homeless person, but he used to be homeless, and he's... that's all I want to say about this. No, it's going to work, I think. Yes. Look at the film projector. It's actually very similar to a sewing machine at the same time. And again, there is this whole element of a clock or things turning, universe, the cycles of life. They're all embedded in the techniques, and I like that in the piece. In this installation, I'd never use chairs. I like it to be like a walk in the woods. When you walk into the gallery, you walk into like a forest. I started thinking about maybe incorporating like the parts of a music box into the piece, because it's quite nice to have this really atmospheric little sounds. And again, it's in a way, it's again very much like the piece, the mechanic, how that works. It's something spinning very slowly. I did the piece a few years ago when I didn't quite know my place. Felt a little bit lost. I was just walking through the woods, and I started thinking about. I saw this. Was walking and I saw this tree. It looked like somebody running away and frozen in time. So I started to think about how we look at objects and trees and make sense of the forms. So the piece is shot on a 16mm film camera. And what I did, I used single frames. Normally when you shoot a film camera, you push a button and the film will continuously run at 24 frames a second. What I did, I switched it over and I did everything in single frames. The piece consists of 3 16mm film projectors and 3 loops. Because the 3 film loops have different lengths, you could pretty much stand in front of the piece and look at it for many years and would never see the same juxtaposition of the piece, because the loops run at different intervals. So it's ever changing, which I found to be also a really nice metaphor for the philosophical part of the piece. One of the plexiglass screens is animated with a motor. It slowly turns, and it's a little bit like a clock. Yes, or I like to think about the universe, like the stars, how they go by. When I install Baum, I first look at the room. And then I imagine in my head how the piece is going to be set up and how it's going to look. It always turns out to be exactly very, very different to what I first imagined. And that's kind of the nice part of an installation like this, which has so many movable components, because it really never is the same thing. And each time I'm almost recreating a new piece. So I will put that there. Okay, this is good.